In reality, I was paralyzed in both my legs. I couldn't move or feel my feet. But like from my perspective, I was so embarrassed. Like having somebody else like wash your tingins. When you're at a point where you can't do things at all, it makes you appreciate when you can.
Hey guys, it's Ceej Tantengco-Malolos and you're watching Go Hard Girls. Today we have one of my favorite people in our basketball industry. She is a UAAP champion, a UAAP broadcast analyst. She teaches kids at the A&V Elite Academy, and best of all, she is a really good friend who just got drafted into the WMPBL. So today we've got Nikki Villasin.
Thank you.
Congratulations on the WMPBL. What are you most excited about?
It comes down to just bouncing back from my previous season. I had joined initially the inaugural, and I felt like I started off really well in the season, and then as the season went on, my expectations were really high. And when you go into anything with really high expectations, it's really hard to like summarize to that. Basically, for this season, I just want to go in and enjoy and have a good time, and I don't want to expect anything out of the season. I don't want to put pressure on myself. I just want to love the game how I did when I was in college. Like when I was at UST, especially my second year, I didn't put too much pressure on myself, and I just kind of let the playing time come when it came. And then of course, like it all boiled down to like the moment of the championship. But I want to be able to replicate that this year and not be too on my high horse about stuff.
I wonder how much of that comes from just a few years before you playing in USD, you literally could not walk.
Oh my god, yeah. That's so funny that you even bring that up, because to this day, I had spoken to your friend on Instagram that also had the same condition as I did, but since then I didn't talk about it to anybody. And like the fact that I still haven't done that, I feel I haven't done justice to the other people that have gone through the same thing.
Why don't you tell our community what Guillain-Barré Syndrome is?
So I mean, I don't entirely even understand it because it's such a rare disease. It was like 1 in 100,000 people get diagnosed with GBS a year worldwide. Basically, it's an autoimmune disorder. They said that GBS was triggered through kind of a combination of things. So it was vaccinations and then also a really high stress level. My senior year of high school, my parents were getting a divorce, which came like so out of the blue to me just because I had never expected my parents to get divorced. I just thought that, like the arguing or whatever was going on with them was normal.
Like
you know?
normal level.
Yeah, like it was just like we're all a family and like stuff happens. But apparently, I guess that they had been waiting for until I was old enough to be able to separate. And so I think that at the time I didn't think it was a big deal, but now that I'm an adult and I look back, I'm like, that definitely took a toll on like my subconscious. Like even if it wasn't something I was initially focusing on, like deep down, like my family was like broken apart. So
your whole reality shifted.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I was having a lot of like medical deficiencies, I guess. Like I would have random hive breakouts from stress, like as in head to toe. So I think that all of that kind of built up to Guillain-Barré happening. And so your antibodies get confused. Don't know how that happens, but it got confused and they start to attack the myelin sheath of your nerves, and it causes your nerves to become damaged. And when your antibodies eat at your nerves, it completely severs, right, the neural junctions, everything. So then you're paralyzed.
Yeah, no, we were at the Sabrina Ionescu Titan event together last year. I was wearing this
outfit. That's funny.
This outfit.
It's okay. It's like
And you told me that at the worst of it, at the worst of your Guillain-Barré syndromes, it wasn't just that you thought you wouldn't play basketball. It was you thought you wouldn't be able to walk again.
yeah. I mean, I thought I was gonna die. Honestly, I think I kept a really great attitude throughout the whole bulk of it, because I was young. I was 18, and when you're 18 years old, like you don't think you're gonna die. You're like, oh, I'm just sick and I'm just gonna make it out of here. But in reality, I was paralyzed in both my legs. I couldn't move or feel my feet, or like anything below my abdomen. And then my left arm was completely paralyzed, and the only thing I could do was like slightly move my right arm and then like turn my head.
How would you eat?
My right hand. I would eat with my right hand.
Everything with one hand.
Yeah, unless it got like too tired, then my mom would help me with a lot. For example, Like, it was such a debilitating thing. Like, now that I look back, like, I couldn't shower by myself. I couldn't feed myself completely if I got too tired. I couldn't go to the bathroom alone. Like, that stuff is demoralizing, honestly. Like, and especially when I know it's a nurse's job to do that. Like, it's within their job description. They do it every day. But, like, from my perspective, I was so embarrassed. Like, having somebody else, like, wash your tingins? My tingins? Like, I felt so embarrassed a lot of the times. Or you had to have someone standing in the bathroom with you and you're doing your business. Couldn't brush my own hair. That was the biggest one for me because at the time I had this luscious
You have
ombre.
beautiful hair.
I chopped it off. It was like down to my butt and it was an ombre. And you got to take care of that, girl. Like, you got to be brushing it. You got to put your treatment in. And I couldn't do that. Like, I was like just this ratted mess unless my mom did it for me, you know?
That's so valid though, and that's so human, and thank you for sharing that. I think
Yeah.
even when we know that, these are professionals, there is that part of us that feels this,
Shame.
yeah, because
super.
girl, I can't even go to a waxing salon without feeling
Don't
some-
ask me to do a Brazilian. Please. Don't. I won't do it.
I cannot. And I'm not afraid of the pain. I'm afraid of a stranger.
No. Have you ever done that?
No,
I did it
scared.
one time and they were like, okay, you have to sit in butterfly. And I was like, this is the last time, ma'am.
But I will say that whenever I speak to you now, I feel how that experience built this well of confidence in you and made you into this strong person.
Wow, period. Like,
That no matter what happens to you, you're just like, you take it on.
Yeah, I mean, when you literally can't move your body and you don't know what's gonna happen next. I had like 6 doctors come and try to figure out what was wrong with me. Like, prior to my diagnosis, they were shocking me with like electricity. They were spinal tapping me. Like, it was a traumatizing experience, just like the amount of pain. Like, circling back, like when you go through something like that, you realize just how temporary life is and how anything can happen at any point, and you never know when you're not gonna walk. Like, you could be hit by a car and it'd be the same exact situation as having GBS. We're both in the hospital.
We could get old.
Or we get old
We will get old, but we
Oh,
could
God.
be, we don't know what kind of old.
Yeah.
Someone once told me, we're all disabled and it's just a matter of time. And that was some dark stuff.
No, that's true.
But
It's
it's
like
true.
it's like the moment you're born, you're dying.
There's this philosopher. There's this philosopher. So Heidegger has this whole concept of being towards death.
Yeah.
So, every moment that we are alive, we are also dying.
Mhm.
And that can be such a paralyzing thought, but it can also be an empowering thought that, okay, if we are dying, if we do have this limited time, how do I spend my time on this earth, right?
Yeah, you know what? That's so good. Just because I feel like so many people tell me I work a lot of jobs, but in my head, they're not. Okay, one of them is work. That's my 8-hour job. Okay, but I would say that everything else is a choice. I don't have to run the academy. I don't have to broadcast. Like, I don't have to do collaborations. Like, I could just go home and work my 8-hour job and be like, all right, cool. Like, on to the next day. But after I had GBS, like, I didn't have an opportunity to do it at all. Like, I was at a point where I couldn't move. I even had a respiratory nurse that was bringing this like machine in, and it had like a little ball, and you had to blow into the tube, and the tube, yeah, it has to go up to like train your lungs because it was reaching my lungs. And if it reaches your lungs, like, you die. Like, that's it. You're done. When you're at a point where you can't do things at all, it makes you appreciate when you can and the abilities that you have to be quote unquote normal and just live the life that you want to live. Because when it's taken away from you, oh my God, like, I even have distinct memories of like waking up in the middle of the night. My mother's like praying over my body. She would like had her hands over my body and was like, just please, just like heal my anak, and I was like, and at the time I was like, chill, mom, like, it's gonna be fine.
Congrats, Tita. Your
Yeah.
daughter. Look at your daughter now. Like you said, you don't have to do it, but you do it and you love it. And this, you said, is your favorite among the roles that you have. UAAP broadcast analyst.
Oh yeah, that's my thing right there. You know what? I owe it all. Let me just say to Boomski Gonzalez. Like, I met him back when I was on the game, and it was like my first TV debut was the game. I was a guest as a basketball analyst, and after that was my first time interacting with Boom, and he was like, "Hey, you did like such a great job." Like, and at the time I was like, "Thanks, I'm a vlogger." Thanks, I vlog. Have you seen my YouTube? I have like 26 subscribers.
Have you seen her do those selfie videos where she's...
Have you seen me walking around in public with my phone? Yeah.
And you now get to be part of this new era of women's basketball, where the UAAP is finally getting more coverage, more attention, more eyeballs, right? Where do you see your role in all of that?
I feel like I play a lot of different characters in broadcasting. Like, I one time was broadcasting with Jamie. Or Jamie, I call him Jamie, to Jaime, with Jaime, and Jaime had like adobo behind like the broadcasting like mics one time while we were covering, I think it was an Ateneo game, and he started like choking on the adobo while like we're about to broadcast, and I'm looking at him like, dude, like we're about to like click your mic, and he's like, and he had no water, and I was like, oh my god. And then so I like hopped on the mic and I was like, welcome back to the UAP, and I was like, is this my first moment of getting to like dabble in anchoring? So I like got to do both, and I was felt
She's a
like
multi-talented queen.
yeah, period. It also bled into stuff like working on Starting Five and breaking games down on TV, and then also doing collaborations with like Slam, where I got to be the host on some episodes, or
NBA Philippines.
that right there, like wow, that came out of nowhere. And the fact, again, Boom put me onto that as well and was like, hey, you'd be really great on this show. I remember my first episode, I was like shaking. So I was like, NBA? Like, my friends know so much more about the NBA, but it's like sometimes it's not about that. It's about like the content you produce and like the way that you can interact on TV. And the fact that Boom believed that I was capable of that already gave me the confidence to be like, okay, like he's good at what he does and he thinks that I can do it, then come on, girl. Like, step into your spotlight. This is it, you know?
Honestly, we need more guys to be like that.
Yes.
Because I think by default, in the sports industry, because it's so male dominated and because it's not like they put out job applications on a website where you send in
No.
your resume.
No.
It's so much about who you know,
Yeah.
who can introduce you to who, right? And so I think if men sort of say, haha, well, I'm good.
Right.
I'm just gonna do my job,
Stay in my own lane.
yeah, that's not enough. We
Mm-mm.
need guys to see that there's a gap,
Yeah.
and then see how they can help out and offer opportunities for people who are super deserving but
Yeah.
might not otherwise have gotten.
The training.
Yeah.
Or even the experience. It's also like the fact that he's so good at offering advice in the most constructive way. I'm really used to, if I had like a male coach, them really tearing me down before they build me up, and that's like a very old school technique of trying to teach or mentor younger people. With Boom, after he'd like lean over to me and be like, hey, like what you said was great. Like affirmed what I said, right? What you said was great, but then like instead you can word it this way or you can do it that way. And then instead of like me feeling embarrassed of the fact that I did it wrong, I took it as like, okay, like how can I improve on already something I had started in the right way.
Shut up, Boom.
Thanks, Boom. Thanks for everything.
That sense of, okay, these girls deserve more coverage, better coverage, and you're in a position to give it to them. What's your mindset when you step in front of the mic?
Well, first, like with any kid, like whether you're talking to a professional athlete or you're talking to a child, this is one thing I learned from ISM, is that you have to allow people to be autonomous and be completely themselves, right? You don't want them to put on this face that, oh, I'm on TV, now I have to act like I am this and this and that. I think it helps a lot with female basketball players to just be completely themselves, and sometimes they're really goofy and sometimes they're really closed off. Also letting them know that I'm like their friend. Like, I used to play, bro. Like, I know how it is. Like, man, you just had a tough game, but like, let's talk about it, because A, I feel you. I've had tough games too. B, like, I want to know what was going through your mind. It reveals a lot about players that you would have initially not known about, and now you're like, wow, I have this whole story, and they're actually really cool, by the way.
So one of our mutual friends, Zara Baham, she
Love that girl.
Yeah. So, she's also deeply embedded in the UST basketball community.
Yeah.
And she did this wonderful photo series of the UST dorm.
Yeah, I remember when she was taking photos. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she has these photos of USD players,
Yeah.
who they are off the court, and she says it's all about the mundane. Like, sports isn't just about the big moments, the big wins. You know, you look in the lives of these athletes, you see, um, there was a player who was collecting little toy cars.
Oh my god. Yes.
You know who that was, right?
yes.
So collecting little toy
So
cars,
cute.
and someone who, they like to paint. People have
Jaja,
yeah, they
yeah.
have their whole lives
Yeah.
outside of basketball too. Yeah, like what stories do you want more people to know about today's crop of UAAP women's basketball players?
I think humanizing them makes them so much more relatable, and that's the kind of content that needs to be put out, right? It's really easy to put a story of, oh, he blah blah blah, Kent Pastrana, she works really hard, she's in the gym 3 times a day. Like, bro, we all know. Like, we all know that she's really hardworking, but like, who is that player? Like, when she goes home and she takes off her jersey, like, that should be like the backstory. And I think that there was one excerpt I saw from the MPBL where they were following a couple of players, and then they were going back to like their provinces, and it made them just like seem like more than just this person that's out there putting a ball in the hoop. They're like, oh wait, this used to be like a little boy. This used to be a little girl that, had they not picked up the ball, could have been a totally different person, But I think that, yeah, creating stories around who they are versus what they do is a lot more enticing, not only for viewers, but for the player too. Like, they deserve to have their stories told and be seen beyond what they can do athletically.
I mean, just look at yourself, right? Like,
Oh, thank you.
my favorite part of your story is not that you're a champion.
It's not that Guillain-Barré.
It's not that you're a champion, and it's not that you have Guillain-Barré, but it's the fact that you overcame that.
Oh, thank you.
You overcame point A to get to point B. That's what makes it special, and that's why it's important to talk about,
Yeah,
all of the unseen challenges.
for sure.
I
I just found out recently I'm turning 28 this year.
Stop,
I
I'm
t-
34.
Okay, but I told someone the other day I was 26.
Oh, really?
I'm 27.
Sometimes I still think I'm 31.
My brain, like, and my body don't feel like they're
Yeah.
28 this year.
Us as women working in the public eye somewhat, and also working in an industry where youth is associated with performance, with
Oh my god, I have that thought all the time where I'm like, when I get older, does that mean I have to stop doing what I'm doing because I'm not going to be as young and as pretty and as lively as I am? Or like, is it going to transition into something else? Like, I do have those thoughts.
I have those thoughts all the
Yeah.
time. I have to catch myself.
Yeah.
Because when I was younger, my big insecurity was the shape of my body.
Yeah.
Because, I used to be a courtside reporter, and my boss would literally comment on my size
Yeah.
to my face instead of giving me feedback
Yeah.
on my report. And so that got in my head. And so for most of my 20s, my big, big, big insecurity was my body.
Appearance. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if I didn't get a gig, I think, is it because
I wasn't.
I look
Yeah. Oh
this
my god,
way?
that's sad. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
because that's what they would tell me, like, oh, you're good at what you do, but
Yeah.
you're kind of
Yeah.
shaped like a dumpling. And I was like,
That would actually. That's when I would get
why would you
environmentally
do this?
destructive. You picked the wrong girl to say that to, honey.
I kind of went on a warpath of
Yeah.
like, I can do all things through spite, which strengthens me. So let me write an investigative report about sexism in the
Yeah.
industry, and let me put up my own company, and let me,
Yeah. Yeah. Like a revenge story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was my arc. But now that I'm in my 30s, I feel like the insecurity has shifted, and now I'm hyper aware
Yeah.
of, oh, my face is changing,
Mhm.
and I wonder how you're feeling that as an athlete, and what you would want to tell to a younger girl.
Girl, let me tell you right now, I struggle a lot with the way I'm supposed to look, quote unquote. Even when I was an athlete, like, I was always kind of categorized as being too skinny or too short. I struggled because I had such a fast metabolism. Like, I eat a lot, and I felt like I was doing everything I had to do, but I was just always really skinny. And when you're an athlete in America and everyone's like ripped and tall, they're all like 5'8", like, you're comparing yourself a lot. And that started really young. Even when I was still figure skating, like, I was like, oh, like, my legs aren't strong enough, like, I'm too tiny. Like, it was always me criticizing the way that I appeared, and then I lost focus in my content and what I was supposed to be doing. And with basketball. Even now, like I am in basketball season again, so now I look at myself and I'm like, yeah, like that's a baddie, that's a baddie. But like when I'm out of season, I'm like, ew, like who is she? And the fact that I tell myself that is pretty bad, you know.
And that's crazy because you're literally one of the most beautiful people I know.
Thank you. Period. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, but, we have these thoughts, and I think it's important to be honest
Yeah.
about them. Not because we're validating them. That I don't think we should be having these thoughts.
No.
But I think it's so important because now that we're at this,
Mhm.
for some younger girls, there's a constant effort in us to pull our confidence from a different place, and I hope more girls know that too.
I think also with someone had said on TikTok, love TikTok. I'm never deleting it. No one can make me delete it, okay? My algorithm, I built it brick from brick. But anyway, someone had said on TikTok and was like, when I spent my whole life hating the way I looked when I realized that my face looks just like my mother or like my father, parts of my mom. I'm like, do I think that my parents are ugly? But I'm over here being like, oh gosh, my nose is so big. It's like, oh, my mom's nose is big. Is she ugly? And I'm like, oh, I would never think that about my mother, you know? And it's like the fact that you say that about yourself only comes to say, like, dude, like you came from somewhere, and like these stories of people and their history, and yeah, I just find it to be kind of sad, honestly.
Yeah. So I think I'm on a different part of the algorithm because the version of that I saw was we say all of these negative things to ourselves as women, but would we say them to our daughter?
You went generational.
I know.
I went from mom to me.
I
You went from me to
know.
baby.
Maybe that's like the 34-year-old algorithm.
That's a good
Now it's like,
transition, though.
right? And it's like, when we see kids, they're so deserving of love, and it's
Yeah.
unconditional.
Mm-hmm.
We deserve that too
Yeah.
as women, and we live in a society that wants us to forget it.
You gotta pull it back in. Yeah. And I think going back to your question, like what would I say to somebody else? I would let them know how good they are at the stuff they're already good at and capitalize on their strengths. And I can think it's really easy to look at all the stuff that you're bad at and how your hair doesn't look right that day, or you don't like your outfit, or you don't like the way that you're, physically appearing. But there are things that you can do that are intangible, or the way that you make people feel is so much more valuable than the way that you internalize your appearances.
We're not what our bodies look like. We're not what our bodies do. Like in your case, like even at the height of your symptoms, that wasn't.
It wasn't defining.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not Nikki. Nikki is not, the person who can't walk at this moment, right?
Have you read The Power of Now?
No.
Oh, girl, I'll
What
put
is
you
it?
on. It'll change your life. They talk about how like this is just your vessel, and then like there's the self, and like you look at the world through this like small window, which are your eyes, and pretty much like one of the small parts in the book was like the way that you decide to use the vessel is up to the self. And once you like can conquer the self and the mind, everything else that comes into fruition from the body and the way that you operate from your body, it's all in alignment. So it's like if you can fix your mind and the way that you even feel about your insecurities, or the way you approach thinking about the stuff of your shortcomings, it already changes the way that you feel about your vessel and like the way that you use your body.
And now, as someone who works with kids, you teach at the International School Manila. Your students are
High
so
society.
yeah, lovely little children.
Yeah, elementary.
At the same time, you are the founder of ANV Elite Academy, where you teach younger athletes about basketball, but also about values. How do you build confidence in those kids?
That's a great question. How do I build confidence? Kids learn a lot from mirroring. So you yourself have to present yourself as a confident person, and a lot of times they just kind of copy you. And something that people have said to me that I find to be such a compliment is when they say that my kids are just like me, that they play like me and their attitudes are like me, and like when they go out there they have like high energy like that. Perfect. That's exactly what I need. Is like I need them to emulate the energy I give. And so I think number one, modeling is a really important part of coaching, and composure. Second, confidence doesn't come from you just saying like a little line of like, I am beautiful or I am strong. Like, dude, like that's great and all, but that's not concrete confidence. Like, confidence comes from practice and repetition and consistency.
And when it's tested.
And when it's tested, like when it's your moment to step up, not that you feel pressured to perform, but it comes naturally. And I think with confidence, it's really hard to tell a kid to be confident, because it comes from how well they prepared for something. You know what? There's always at least one kid per tournament that I have that comes to me and they're like, "Oh, Coach Nikki, like the other team, they're so good," or the other team like, "Ang lakas ng kalaban," and I'm like, "Girl, you're afraid of what you can't do, and they're afraid of what you might do." So for you to be standing in front of me and already putting yourself in a position to be lesser than someone else, you already lost the game. We might as well not play. Like, great, is that everybody's attitude? Let's not play. Oh, so it's not your attitude. You want to play basketball. Great. Don't ever say that in front of me again. I don't want to hear it. Even if it's an insecurity, you're verbalizing it, you're creating a reality out of that, and that's just not something that we do at ANV. Like, you go out there and you lose with integrity, even if you do lose.
Part of empowering women isn't just saying the easy platitudes
Yeah.
of girls can do anything. I mean,
Yeah.
yes, but also
Like, be for real.
we can if you do XYZ, if you put in this work, if you put in this fight, if
Yeah.
you're ready for the struggle, and we got to be real about that
Yes.
too. And so if there's anything I want our community to take away from your story, it's that the Nikki of today did not come out like magic.
Grew up so insecure. Like, you guys don't even know. Like, I grew up the most withered flower. Like, I feel like I seriously planted my seed when I went to college and grew up just kind of going and floating through life. So I feel like, yeah, definitely didn't just happen out of nowhere.
When we're in our late 20s and early 30s, we have the benefit of looking back and being like, oh, look at all of the things that we overcame.
Yeah.
And that's where you pull your confidence from. It's not about how you look. It's not about, if you have a condition or, what your boss tells you. Maybe confidence is built by what you overcome, brick by brick.
Yes. Resilience.
What is a go hard girl to you?
A go hard girl is somebody that not only works hard, okay? There's a difference between working hard and doing work, okay? Doing work, but doing it well. Okay, you can have a bunch of jobs, you can have a bunch of side hobbies and be all of these people and wear all these caps, but if you have something that you're proud of, your ikigai, right, to do it well. Even if the task at hand isn't what you desire and it's not what you want to be doing in that moment, you do it well and you do it with enthusiasm, and that's what a go hard girl is literally just going hard and doing it with enthusiasm.
Thank you, Nikki, for showing us what it's like to, build brick by brick, to live with a deep gratitude that comes from knowing what it's like to have it almost all taken away. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. Always love being a part of these events. Yeah.
That is our episode for today. Thank you so much for tuning in to Go Hard Girls. Again, my name is Ceej Tantengco-Malolos, and we are so privileged to do this work that we do.
Yes.
You heard it in the episode. It has been a tough journey for women in sports. So you, our community, showing up here, being here for us, it means everything. Once again, have a great day and keep going hard.
Am I on camera?
Yes, you are.
Oh.
On this one. Okay. You ready?
That's worse. It's actually better if somebody does it for you.
Yeah, but I don't know about the stranger danger.
Yeah,
So I feel like
definitely.
maybe the only way to do it is I train my husband.
Yeah.